Viable evidence.
If white privilege exists, why are Asian Americans and Indian Americans wealthier, have higher incomes, live in better areas on aggregate than white Americans do?
I don't know.
Maybe because white privilege doesn't exist.
Maybe, or maybe
Maybe it doesn't.
Maybe.
Maybe skin color has nothing to do with it,
But
and
I
choices
disagree
have
with
everything to do with it.
I disagree with that.
Then show me some evidence, because I just showed you some evidence that it doesn't exist.
What would you take as evidence? What counts for you?
Something that I just said, for example, that the wealthiest people in America, numbers would be nice, historical data,
How
logic.
about testimony?
No, testimony means nothing.
Count?
I don't care about anyone's version of truth. I care about evidence.
Hi amazing viewers, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So if you are new here, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. So today I'm reacting to Charlie dismantle the racist white privilege. So guys, stay tuned and let's enjoy this wonderful video together.
Do you believe in Asian American privilege?
Hey, wealth doesn't mean power and privilege.
Do you believe in Asian American privilege?
I believe that there are a few people of certain races who have gotten very, very wealthy based on trade, based on the economic system that we have. I also believe that as a white man, I historically have an advantage over people who are of a color that is not my skin color. This is evident from the slave trade, all the way up to Reconstruction, and all the way up to Jim Crow laws. I assume, based on your facial expression, that you have a report. I'm going to go ahead and let you make that.
So did we treat Asian Americans well in the 1940s and 50s?
We sure didn't.
So then how did they overcome that?
They overcame that through
Were they privileged?
having to work harder than white people.
Oh, so they worked harder and they were rewarded for it 60 years later.
How about people that work hard for like 350 years and get any reward? Yeah.
Like who?
Slaves.
Yeah. Slaves.
What do you mean? Do you know anyone that's ever owned a slave?
Do I know anyone that's ever owned a slave?
Yes.
What does that have to do with that?
Has a lot to do with it.
What does that have to do with like?
Because if you make three big choices in America, you're guaranteed not to live in poverty. You know what those three choices are? Get married before you have kids, get a job, and graduate high school. You know what community does that at the highest rate? Asian Americans. That's why they're successful. We live in a meritocracy. You make good choices, you will be rewarded for those choices, irrelevant of your skin color. So when you say white privilege exists, good choice privilege exists.
Yeah, but I think white people reap a lot of benefits.
Name one benefit that white people that they benefit from this society, despite Asian. What?
Police treatment.
What about police treatment? That white people are more likely to be shot by a police officer than a black person is likely to be shot by a police officer? From the Federal Bureau of Investigation, the Department of Justice independent study of 300 independent police forces across the country. Facts must bother leftists because they always walk away as soon as you recite them.
You have a shit ton of leftists here who are still standing here.
Well, I've already made a couple of me, but I'm happy to keep
Oh,
going.
you made a couple. That's great.
No, but let's get back. Can you,
That's quantifiable evidence.
if white privilege exists, why are Asian Americans and Indian Americans wealthier, have higher incomes, live in better areas on aggregate than white Americans do?
I don't know.
Maybe because white privilege doesn't exist.
Maybe, or maybe
Maybe it doesn't.
Maybe.
Maybe skin color has nothing to do with it,
But
and
I
choices
disagree
have
with
everything to do with it.
I disagree with that.
Then show me some evidence, because I just showed you some evidence that it doesn't exist.
What would you take as evidence? What counts for you?
Something that I just said, for example, that the wealthiest people in America, numbers would be nice, historical data,
How
logic.
about testimony?
No, testimony means nothing. I don't care about anyone's version of truth. I care about evidence. I don't care about feelings. I care about facts.
Aren't most of these studies partially based on testimony, though?
No, when you say that Asian Americans are the richest people in America, that's math. That's looking at people's income. That's not testimony. Testimony would be a singular person saying, I've had a tough time. That would be testimony, which that might be true, but that doesn't make it true in the aggregate.
Black people?
I'm sorry?
Is there discrimination?
There's discrimination against all sorts of people.
Yeah, is it worse against black people or is it equal?
Depends what part of the country, it depends what situation. And when that
So
exists,
if you put it
there's
all
laws to
together,
put
which
people in prison.
If you put them all together, which race faces discrimination?
I would say probably Hispanic Americans in certain parts of the country, even more so. But I have no data to support that. You asked me some anecdotal question. I haven't done that much thinking about it. But I'll say this. In America, if you make a sequence of good choices, irrelevant of skin color, you will be rewarded for those choices. We're one of the only countries in the world where that is possible, where you can have intergenerational ascension, where your kids can be better than how you are today.
It's like
It's not a fallacy. That's why Asian Americans entered. That's why Asian Americans entered in the 1940s as the poorest group in America, and they're now the richest group. The Constitution was not written in Korean, yet they have benefited the most from what people call a white predominant society. Indian Americans, for example, from India, are the second richest per race.
Was the
category in
Constitution
America.
written in Hindi?
No, that's exactly the point.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Continue.
The point is that people say that our society is rigged for white individuals and white men. The evidence does not suggest that. There's twice as many white people living in poverty today than black people. Now, the rate for poverty in the black community is much higher, but the aggregate number is something that should not be ignored. So the misconception that our country is rigged just for people based on a certain skin color has zero evidence. Yet that is the predominant thing that is being taught in our universities.
When did it stop?
What do you mean?
When did it not be rigged anymore? Because it clearly used to be rigged. You're saying it isn't rigged now.
That's a fair point. I'd say throughout the 60s and 70s and 80s, as America got significantly less racist, as we passed the Civil Rights Act, things got more equitable in the sense where better decisions got rewarded more.
And you don't think that there could be a lag effect of 350 years of slavery and 100 years of Jim Crow?
I think those inequities have been more balanced out, more so than it's even worth considering that 350 years of inequity. For example, Asian Americans built the railroad system in America in the late 1800s, early 1900s in America. We put Japanese Americans in internment camps in the 1940s. Jewish Americans had an extermination order against them in Europe in the 1940s. The point being is that, right, so almost every racial ethnic group has had some form of suffering. So to point to something that happened a very, very long time ago and to attribute the inequity today to that.
It wasn't that long ago, though.
When was slavery?
Wow. Oh my God. This is good. I just love the way Charlie was just educating the college student, like white privilege. Some people feel that because of your skin type, you have some set of privilege that I'm a white, so I have this kind of privilege. I'm a black, I have this kind of privilege. Some people feel that, okay, if they're white, maybe when they're going to, let me just say, like, they have this kind of privilege to work in a big organization because they're in the country. But some white people will say, oh no, let me employ black because they work very well. Let me employ someone from Africa or black because I know that they're very good in their work. They will, even if I pay them a little money, they won't complain. They will take the money like that. I don't know if you understand. Some people feel that, some people have the mindset of white, black, to me, I feel that no matter your skin type, we are all one. I feel that we should all treat each other equally. So guys, please, let's continue on wonderful video together. Poof.
Slavery was abolished in 1808. The international slave trade was gotten rid of. But then we actually resorted to chattel slavery, which is where we bred them like cattle.
You're not going to hear me defend slavery for a second. No, I mean,
that's good because
it's one of the great sins of the American. It's one of the great sins of the American story. But you know what's also admirable about it? How we got rid of slavery.
Because admirable about slavery?
No. What's admirable about our history, not about slavery.
Okay. Thank you. But we still
Because-
haven't dealt with like the repercussions.
What repercussions would that be?
The lack of the ability for certain people to accumulate wealth.
Such as who?
I don't know, like I was down in New Orleans, right? And I see all these mansions. And it's like those people that old mansions, they made their money. They're probably slave owners. Then you go into a black neighborhood and it's like...
But they might have been slave owners in 1865
yeah, but they
when the
have that
American...
accumulated wealth that can compound versus people that don't have the opportunity.
Oh, okay, so you're making a fair point that there might be intergenerational inequity. How do you go about that? Well, some people on the left would say, you tax it, you take away from what people used to have. I totally and completely disagree with that.
What do you think? Then what is your case?
Because
how
I
do
don't-
you reparations then?
There's no reparations. I believe in opportunity. Instead of trying to fix the past, which will never happen, which is a horrible idea, you create a better future.
It'll never happen with that.
No, because you know why? Any country that's ever tried reparations has failed miserably. South Africa, for example. They've tried reparations the last 30 years. They're more racially divided on the brink of civil war than they ever have been.
Do you think we're on the brink of civil war?
I hope not.
You think so?
No, I said I hope not.
But I asked if you think so.
No, I don't think we are. But it's people on the left that want us to be more divided than not.
No, I think it's like you.
No, no,
You're
because-
here trying to divide people.
Hold on a second. Do you support black-only dormitories?
Sure.
You do? Okay. That's resegregation. You realize that.
No, I think if black people want to do that, we should allow them to because they have to face.
Well, then would you support white-only dormitories?
No, I wouldn't.
Why?
Because pretty much the school is white only. Pretty much every dormitory is white only.
I don't know the demographic makeup of Oregon, but looking around, I'd say it's a more diverse campus than just being
I
a
would say
white-only
if
campus.
black people want, yeah.
So you believe in black-only graduation ceremonies at Harvard?
If they want that, sure.
So-
Why do I care? Why does it bug me?
Well, it should bug you that we're
No.
resegregating
No, it
parts of the
doesn't bug me.
population.
There's a difference.
That
It's
people
totally
marched in this.
different.
What's the
One thing
difference?
if white people say that black people have to be separate.
What's the difference
It's
of
a-
skin color? What's the difference between a white person
I
and a
was
black
trying to
person?
tell you.
Tell me what the difference between a white person and a black person.
No, I'm not.
There's no difference. They're both
No,
human beings. There's
they're,
only
like,
one race, the
treated
human
differently.
race.
They're
They're-
treated differently.
How are they treated differently? Give me one piece of evidence. What can a black person not do in America that I can do?
They get treated differently by the police, and I've seen it.
Really?
Yeah.
Even though the data shows that a black person...
Data can be used to lie.
Wait,
Police
so
department-
facts don't matter,
Police
essentially.
departments are actually capable of policing their own records, so
Yeah.
the ability.
Even though most of the inner city police forces are black majority police forces,
Are they?
Okay,
such
that's
as Philadelphia. Philadelphia is a 44% black city with a 56% black
And
police
that
force.
bugs you?
No, it actually gives me happiness. That
Really?
yeah, because I care about all people, and I don't look at people based on race like you
So
do.
you're post-racial?
Absolutely.
Because it does. That
You're
does
not. You're the one
exist.
that wants black-only graduation ceremonies and black-only
That's not
dormitories.
what I said.
You're okay with that? I'm not okay with that.
Yeah, because
We desegregated America.
Because that argument works for you, and it's not desegregated.
It's
There's
not.
There's still a lot of problems, and
Do-
like to say that if people want to have.
But the problems are not based on race.
Yeah, they are. There's
You
tons
have-
of racial problems in America.
You have yet to give me any evidence or data or one
Do
piece of
you
example.
believe that there are any racial problems?
Individually, absolutely. Are there individually committed people that are racist 100%?
Do
And
you
is the
believe
president
that
one
there
of
are
No.
systemic
President
racial
Trump is one of the least
issues?
racist people in America.
Whatever.
Do you
And
believe
don't
that-
like facts.
No, give me one evidence that he's
How
racist.
about he got caught discriminating against giving out
Complete and
housing?
total false, not true whatsoever.
Okay,
Would-
so
would-
you can
Okay.
not believe facts.
Wait, no.
whatever you
Would
want.
a
Okay.
racist president such as President Donald Trump put a black woman as the
That
first
doesn't-
Army
that
sergeant
is not a
ever in the
real
history of the United
argument.
States Army?
The I'm
Would
not
it-
racist because I'm a black friend argument.
The first
doesn't
Army
fly.
sergeant.
so at
That's not
what-
real.
The
That's
first
not
Army sergeant ever in
If
the
we-
history of the
fir-
U.S. Army?
the first
That's
woman-
not true.
The first woman battalion commander, you can look
Oh,
it up,
okay, battalion
confirmed by
commander
the
is
United
different than
States
a
Senate,
sergeant.
the first black woman confirmed by the United States Senate in a position of the United States Army ever. Here's a very simple
Okay.
question for you. At
Yes.
what point does someone stop being a racist in your mind?
I haven't thought about it.
You haven't thought, but yet you're quick to label, but you're not quick to retract or have a line in your head. That's pretty
Maybe
dangerous,
maybe
isn't
when
it?
they die.
When they die. That's pretty sinister. Do you think I'm a racist?
Yeah.
No, hold on a second. He thinks I'm a racist. Why would you say I'm a racist?
Just the stuff you're saying.
Name one thing I've said that's ever racist.
Whatever, I'm not gonna play that game with you.
He doesn't need a hype guy. He doesn't need a hype guy. He's doing good on his own.
Oh my goodness. Woo! Wow, this is so touching. Like the guy, he was ashamed. They were asking him a question. He don't know what to say anymore. Oh but Charlie is a good public speaker. Like he know how to answer question in the right way. So guys, I'm so happy about this wonderful video. Races, being a white privilege, and this. The guy was saying that yeah, he want just black should have their own school, black should graduate on their own, black should do this, black should do that. I just feel that we are all one, no matter our skin type. If you are black, if you are white, if you are yellow, if you are pink, we are all one. So we should learn how to love and trust ourselves. Because if we say okay, we should divide, we all need each other to survive. Black is important, white is important. When we join our heads together, we can be able to achieve something. So we are all important, no matter the skin type. So guys, please comment below on how you feel about this wonderful video. Comment below, and also like our YouTube channel, subscribe to our YouTube channel, Ngal Fashion Store. Fashion makes sense.